Entertainment news today. You're such a dragon gay. Everything sucks and it's no good. That comes out of Hollywood. There's one place you can go to get all your news and info, and maybe even have a laugh or two. You know it's true. Midnight's Edge after dark, it is life. We'll stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark. All those bombs and flops, but MEAD never stops. We will keep going through the night as we keep up the culture fight. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is Thursday. I finally have the right day. Welcome to the program. I'm Tom Connors. We got Nick Weiser here, all 32 flavors of him. How you doing?
Hey, Tom Connors. I'm doing pretty good. Nice to see you and Professor R2 and CC. Hello, chat.
Indeed, we are live. So share out that link. Let everybody know that we are. And yeah, Professor R2 is here, as you said. How you doing, Professor R2?
Doing good. Been enjoying a little bit of Mario Kart World on the Switch 2 with my kids today. Been having some fun with that. So yeah.
So you're one of the folks who happen to get their hands on one.
I managed to get my hands. Actually, I didn't have too much trouble getting a pre-order as some people did. So yeah, picked it up, and yeah, we've been having a little fun with it today.
Awesome sauce. CC's back. How you been?
Pretty exhausted. Plane has landed. Glad to be back. Just healing up until the next time I go.
Healing up? What the hell did you do?
Well, you know, hanging around people who make you chase them, and I don't know. It's a long story.
You mean you have to ice your balls? Gotcha. I hear you. All right. Well, welcome to the program, kids. We're all here. We got a couple of super chats right off the bat. Patrick Robbins says, I didn't know they were rebooting James Bond Jr. with the new 007 game. Also, what the fuck, Elon? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there with that whole thing. I don't know enough about everything to get into it, but I know that the one thing I will say is I was kind of leery about the big bill to begin with, so I kind of see where Elon's coming from, but then he went out and has been kind of acting like off the hook or whatever you want to call it, or off the chain or whatever. So I don't know.
Off the spectrum.
Yeah, something to that effect. But yeah, thank you, Patrick, for the donation. And yeah, the new James Bond game. I don't know much about it, but did you guys want to discuss that real quick?
I only saw the Razor video about mentioning James Bond Jr. And from what I got, it looked like there was the 900th race swap, and this time it looked like it was on Miss Moneypenny. And I thought, wow, this James Bond Jr. really? I mean, sure, I probably appreciated it when I was 7 and didn't know shit about life, but I don't need James Bond Jr. I need James Bond. So whatever, man. I mean, could the game be any good? I don't know. I haven't played a Bond game since GoldenEye, so I got nothing really amazing to add to that. But the cultural stuff of it does not look good. I will say that. So that's where all I can answer is on that particular part. But if you want to play the damn trailer, why not?
I'm not going to play the whole trailer because I don't want to get nailed for the music or anything.
Yeah.
But
so this new game was introduced during Sony's State of Decay yesterday. Not all of the things they announced were particularly interesting or surprising. This one took a lot of people by surprise, though. This would literally be the very first property that Amazon and MGM have done for James Bond since that
although
was
this
fully
is technically
acquired.
I was gonna say although this has technically been in the works for a while, if I'm
yes
right
yes it has been. So but yeah, this would be the first one with Amazon's input. The idea clearly is here, this is supposed to be the start of James Bond. This is supposed to happen at the very beginning of his story. He is not 007 yet, as it says in some of the bits of the trailer, earn your number, stuff like that. So the idea is that it's the backstory. It's the intro for this version in this video game of James Bond.
More like backwash, but anyway.
Yeah, but the interesting thing here, this is being made by a pretty well-respected developer, IOI, who makes the entire series, the Hitman series, and they've had the recent Hitman games have been really good. And so in the trailer, it looks all right game-wise. The engine looks good, gameplay, obviously hard to tell from a trailer like this, but I am cautiously optimistic. Yes, there are definitely some race swaps in here. We've got a race swapped M. We've got a race swapped, looks like probably Moneypenny. But overall, I'm willing to give this a chance. If it's a fun, enjoyable game, if it's a good story.
Black or something like that from what I've seen.
It looks like the M appears to be potentially
or M, yeah,
Indian? East Indian? And then we believe that is probably Moneypenny.
Oh.
Yeah, the version of Moneypenny here. So, yeah, there's a bunch of that jazz going on. It's to be expected. That's, that kind of stuff still going on in the industry. But I don't know. I looking at this and knowing the developer who's involved, I'm cautiously optimistic this could be a pretty fun game. But, we'll have to wait and see when it arrives as to how much people are going to enjoy it.
He does look like a young Tom Hardy there. And hello, we have 6 in the house.
Hello. He does look like a young tongue.
And he was one of the names that's been floated around a little bit lately next to Henry Cavill. So.
Yeah. There's been a few people trying to nail down a specific actor for this, but nobody's actually been announced as to who the actor is in this trailer yet, as far as I know. So.
Yeah, I'm getting very Tom Hardy vibes out of this guy here. Makes you wonder if that's who their next choice is, because I would say, it's come down to like 30%, 40, 50 maybe percent chance for Henry, 30, 40, 50% chance for Tom Hardy at this point, and then Aaron Taylor Johnson with the rest.
I don't know how about everyone else feels about Tom Hardy, but after his recent performance in Mobland, I think I'd be okay with it.
I still need to watch that, so I couldn't answer that. I mean, as of now, if you ask me today, unfortunately, without the knowledge of seeing Mobland, going off the 3 that were mentioned, I would like to do Aaron Taylor Johnson, but I would preferably even more over Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'd actually like to see an unknown. I think
Aaron Taylor Johnson's too pretty. Yeah.
Well, Aaron, he could scruff himself up a bit. I believe that could be. I think that could be solved. And you could say that's probably the optimist me speaking, but I do believe that. I think an unknown would be good because that way we can see that actor as James Bond first, the actor second. It's a good way to get an actor a big role to say, hey, no, this is your break. Do you want this? Can you nail this partner? Can you make us believe you're James Bond 007? I think an unknown would be absolutely very beneficial to see. And I hate sounding like I'm making a corporate favor move here, but it would be cheaper for them to hire an unknown. Now, obviously, if that unknown does well, they gotta pay him more though, because if he's showing his worth, well, then yeah, he does deserve to get paid more, and he keeps the franchise moving along swiftly. But for the time being, they could get away with, for a movie, paying someone less who, let's just say, there's a bit more uncertainty attached to his name.
Mhm.
Well, I Googled it, and it says that Patrick Gibson is the voice and motion capture actor for the
Oh, all right.
game.
yeah, I didn't know. I knew it wasn't going to be Tom Hardy, but I know that's one of the names that's been floated around. But yeah, Patrick Robinson. What has he been in? Is he in anything?
Patrick Gibson.
Yeah, Patrick
Or
Gibson.
Gibson.
He was in.
He kind of looks like a young Bondish.
Yeah,
I
it was
guess.
Dexter. Dexter Original Sin. That's what it was.
Yeah,
the thing
okay,
he
I
was in
can
recently.
see.
Yeah, as the young Dexter.
Yeah.
He's pretty skinny.
Kind of skinny though. Yeah.
He's not really. He doesn't. I don't look at him and think James Bond.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be doing this as the actor himself. It's
No,
I
kind
look
of
at
a
Pedro
sap.
Pascal and think
Yeah.
James Bond.
I could see them doing like a spin-off series of Young Bond though. So never know. And then Go One for One says game looks more like Lawrence of Arabia than 007. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not real good gauge for this, so unfortunately. And then Lost for Words says the James Bond game looks super generic. It looks very mid. Nothing new. Regame mechanics. Not impressed. Rent or wait for sale. 00 Twink. Can you even rent games anymore?
Not anywhere around where I live. I'll tell you that.
I mean, GameFly used to be a thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But Lost for Words also sends us in a £1.99 with a thumbs up. Thank you for that. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. And FKHC 2005 coming in with his clobbering times love. Thank you for that. We appreciate it here. Indeed. All right. Well, unless there was anything more to say about this 007 business.
No,
we
not
could
really.
probably
Unless
move
anyone else has
into-
something.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else to say about it. I'm not really a Bond fan, so yeah. Let's see here. What do we got coming up next? There's a few places we could go. There's some alien news. Do you guys want to go into that? We got news that there is a follow-up to Alien Romulus in the works, and I actually have a little bit of inside news on that, because I guess the same team that's working on Alien is working on the Predator future. So they are looking to cross back over and all that kind of business. So we'll see how that goes, but it looks like somebody we may not have to worry about anymore mucking up the works is Ridley Scott. Thank fuck.
Say
says-
it ain't so, Tom.
He says, I've done enough with Alien. Oh, yes, you have. You fucked it up enough. That's right. He thought, fuck, that's the end of the franchise after bad sequels. This series should be as important as Star Wars. Well, you didn't help, motherfucker. Like, but yeah, I mean, is anybody surprised that Ridley's finally kind of stepping aside or stepping away from the Alien franchise, as it were?
This would have been good 15 years ago. Before Prometheus, when they maybe had a
Right.
chance, when they actually had a chance. But I mean, for get into the trailer in a little bit, it's not all doom and gloom. But yeah, I'm happy to see him step away. The guy's not exactly.
He's 87.
Yeah, he's not
It's-
young. Yeah.
Is he really stepping away, or did somebody take the keys away from Grandpa?
Could it be both?
Yeah.
He got
So
hauled
he's-
into HR, and they said, "You can either quit or we're going to fire you." And he chose to quit.
Well, I mean, I know he's been fighting with Paramount over his Gladiator 3 happening or not. Then you had his one what was it, his assistant or his first AD or whatever come out from that Gladiator movie and say that Ridley barely even showed up. Like
Oh, really? Oh, I missed
Yes.
that.
yeah, he was like, Ridley was just like coming in, doing the motions, spending money left and right. Like everybody else pretty much did all the work.
Huh.
Yeah. Which is probably why it felt like a by the numbers kind of thing, according to most people who saw it. So yeah. You know, Dead Man, I would love to get Neil Blomkamp's Alien. Oh man.
Oh, yes.
The things I know. We were robbed of a Neil Blomkamp Alien in RoboCop. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, on the heels of this news, we also got the trailer for Alien Earth, which I think, as CC was pointing out, doesn't look all too bad. I mean, there's some elements about it that look interesting. There's some that make me cringe, but there may be a chance of life in this franchise, perhaps. What do you guys think?
I haven't even watched it yet.
I watched the trailer and it was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad, but to be fair, I don't have the greatest point of reference on Alien. I've only ever seen Alien and Aliens. Yes, that's right. I never saw 3, never saw Resurrection, never saw Prometheus, never saw Covenant. And what was the one that came out last year? I already forgot what it was called. Didn't see
Romulus or something like that.
And
Yeah.
so to me, it looked okay, but I'm definitely not the proper demographic to have a good answer. In one AVP movie, and those are the only 3 I've seen ever.
Your audio is really cutting out bad, Nick.
That's weird because I checked my settings and it shows it's on the proper mic. Yeah. Oh, now it changed.
Ooh, this thing's a bastard.
I was gonna say, yeah, because you were cutting out real bad and sound like you're in a fucking tunnel, and yeah.
I checked earlier and it showed us on the right setting, and now I check again this very second. When you mention it again, and the song it changed. I'm like, what the hell, bro?
You're still cutting out a little bit.
Yeah,
Does somebody
yeah.
not have headphones on? Is that what's going on here?
I've got my headphones on.
Did it
I can
start
take
when
a
I got it?
screenshot of my settings right now. It says mic,
No, he was
microphone
sounding like that
Yeti,
earlier.
speaker default headphones. That's where I'm at. So, and I'm just saying. I know I'm not. Maybe I am crazy, but I know I'm doing this right.
It still doesn't sound like it's coming through the right mic.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
I'm hearing mouse clicks, which means it's probably it's on a laptop or on something
I'm on
like
the
that.
same
the mic
you.
is.
Computer that I always use.
Yep.
It's not like it's horrible audio. It's
Yeah.
just
No,
not.
but it was like cutting out there and shit. And I
It
couldn't
was.
understand half of what he was saying.
And it started before I came in.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, it's not your
yeah.
fault. No.
I think it's Google. I think something's screwed up in your
Range.
settings somewhere.
Google's bipolar.
Well,
Something's going on.
I actually I thought this trailer was pretty good. I was surprised. The teasers so far had not had me interested in this at all. I'm not the biggest fan of this particular franchise. After Aliens, I did see Alien 3, and then I was like, well, it was okay, not great. It had some parts of it that were all right, but mostly a dud. So I gave 4 a chance. I saw Resurrection, and that's the first movie I ever saw that I actually considered walking out of the theater during the film. I hated that movie so much. But some of the more recent films, they're just such a mess. They're either just really generic, or the ideas that they've got, the ones that Ridley has made have been such just awful. And so looking at the trailer for Alien Earth, I wasn't particularly excited about it, but honestly, it's got the feels that I want to see from an Alien project. I'm enjoying what's there, so I'm interested to see exactly what they're going to do with the series as a whole. It looks as though there's going to be more than just the xenomorphs. There's going to be some other types of aliens that are going to be involved, and then also there's a whole thing that has to do with hybrids. So they're humans, but they've been put into android bodies or something. I don't know. It looks interesting to me. I'm willing to give it a shot.
I thought it looked. Oh, sorry, Cece. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I liked it too. The one thing that stuck out to me is they're not trying to just rehash what we've done before. It doesn't strike me that they're just remaking Alien again and again and again, which I kind of got from that new movie. I mean, I heard the latest movie was not terrible, but it looked to me, at least from the outside, correct me if I'm wrong, like it was just kind of like another, people on a ship getting attacked by an alien thing. Here they are at least trying to kind of get a little bit creative with it, which can go wrong if you have bad creatives, but they don't necessarily have bad creatives here. So I'm intrigued. The previous stuff, like R2 said, I was like, okay, whatever, I don't care. And then this trailer sold me a little bit, at least enough to be interested now. So keep an eye on it.
What were you going to say, Six?
I watched the trailer just now. I didn't listen to the audio though, but it looks good. It looks interesting. It looks like something I might enjoy watching. But the thing of it is, I don't have time to watch that because there's so much more out there. So it looks good, but it doesn't look great. I'm to the point where I have to pick things that look great. Like right now, I've been rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the Harry Potter movies and King of the Hill. I'm almost to season 3 in like a week of King of the Hill. And, you know, some people might consider that doing homework for the upcoming, you know, IP revitalization of those, but I'm doing it because I want to. And so I don't necessarily have time for good looking TV. I only have time for great TV, but I don't watch a whole ton of it. But it looks good. Just kind of a generic. Yeah. Thumbs up.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. There's certain elements that I say, okay, this looks like it might be interesting, like adding like the idea that they have 5 new species, or 5 species, one of them obviously probably being the xenomorph or the face hugger. But it looks like there's other predatory creatures they're going to add to the mix. And we did get a couple shots of aliens, I guess you could say, in the show too. So we're going to get some proper aliens. I mean, I was against the idea of it coming to Earth, but I was under the impression that the series took place now. I didn't know that it took place in the future. Once I saw that, I'm like, okay, that changes the game a little bit, right? Like this looks like it picks up somewhere between either after the second film. I can't remember the dates. I think it's after the second film. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, please. So yeah, like some ship crash lands on Earth that had these 5 species in it, and that seems to be the setup for this. And yeah, so and the company of course wants them, and you have everybody else trying to destroy them before they get loose and all that kind of business. So it might have something to it. It's from Noah Hawley, who worked on that one show. Just forgot the name of it. Woody Harrelson and
let's see. According to what I've seen, Alien Earth is going to take place after Prometheus and Covenant and is a direct prequel to the 1979 Alien film.
And that's the part that I read too, I think, and that's what
Yeah.
bothered me, because it's like, no, it shouldn't be. There shouldn't be any aliens on Earth, period.
Yeah.
He worked on Fargo, and what was the other show I was trying to think of? The detective one I was trying to think of. But I don't see that here, so maybe he didn't work on that one, and I was
Matlock?
mistaken. No, I
True
thought
Detective?
he worked... True Detective, I thought he worked on,
Yeah.
but I'm not seeing it in his list. So maybe he didn't. But he's worked on Bones, it looks like. Legion, Fargo, like I said. So yeah, like, I mean, he was supposed to do that Star Trek movie that never happened. So...
Which one?
Yeah, which one? Well, one of the versions of Part 4. Somewhere before or after one of the other ones. Yeah, his was announced like I think 3 or 4 years ago now, but it never came to fruition. And then he got this job, so yeah, we'll have to see how it works. I don't like this idea if it happens before Alien, though. That makes no sense. That's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of like trying to do prequel mixed in the middle sequels and all that kind of shit.
You know, I say a lot, there's a time and place for things, obviously depending on the circumstance, but the amount of in-betweequel, prequel, re-requel, sequel that they have done with Alien.
I'm stealing that motherfucker.
All right, cool. The amount that they have done with this franchise, it makes me think, wow, maybe it's a good thing I've never really chose to look into 3 and 4 and all the ones beyond, not because I hear that they're bad, but because it seems like, man, this makes the X-Men continuity look straight. And that's saying a lot, because if there's one thing the X-Men comics have, had problems with even in the cherry golden days, was the continuity was always crazy, especially when you factor in time travel. Has the alien movies ever gotten to time travel?
No.
Oh
right.
boy, they haven't even
Thank
gotten to
God.
time travel. They're this confusing. Holy shit.
No, yeah.
That's impressive. You didn't even have to undo time to make it this confusing. Dude, they should get an award for that.
You're not wrong. It is
remarkable.
kind of surprising. That's the
Oh,
one thing.
man,
The one
that's-
thing they haven't done. No, that's because Ridley's been all obsessed with fucking gay robots. So
Why? Does he want to like fuck him or something?
I swear, dude. Oh, dude. You
That's a
clearly
big
haven't
market.
seen them. But,
There's a big market for robots.
For
that are
robot
fuckable.
fucking.
gay-
That's gonna get hurt. Like, imagine just banging steel or getting banged by steel. Like, that shit's gonna leave a few bruises.
It's funny you mentioned that because one of my early internet fucking projects was a cartoon called Naughty Naughty Robot. And the original story was revolved around this robot that was on the run because he accidentally killed the woman he was with because she forgot to program a safe word.
Oh, jeez.
Can you imagine just some robot like is right out to the phone?
We ended up doing it's picking up later on in the story, but that was the original version of the story.
I'm just trying to imagine like a robot undoing its skin, showing off all its steel head like it's a Terminator. It's like, I'm gonna give you the judgment day. And also cues the music, and I'm just like,
Come with me if you want to live.
Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah,
That's
gay
good.
robot, says Shinatsky. Stop spoiling the show time. Well, we get at least one chick in it that is a robot who was a human who is a robot. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, Ridley Scott's like more obsessed with the fucking robots in these movies and shows than he is the fucking aliens. It's like, dude.
So over under on robot sex scenes in the new show.
Oh, that'll happen. Like, honestly, Nick, like if you've seen the one, like there's literally a scene where the one robot says to the other one, like, if you do the fingering, I'll do the blowing.
No!
We're talking about a flute, but
Which movie is this one? What was this? Prometheus?
I think this was no, it was the next one after that, Covenant.
Covenant. I
Oh,
remember
God.
when Prometheus was new, and there's a whole. It's not attached to the other movies. Oh wait, yes it is. It's not attached. Oh, I think so. I was just like, what's going on with that franchise over there, bro?
All right, y'all talks amongst yourself, so I'm trying to find this.
We will do that. Yes, go find it. The last one when I saw AVP in theaters, I saw it opening night. I remember because it was one of those movies where once again that rare moment, if someone says something during a movie, if you time it out right, it can be very funny because if you fuck it up, you will make everyone in the audience mad, and rightfully so. But if you remember in the early opening credits, they put the timeline of where the movie is taking place, and there's this guy who laughed in the theater, like, "That's my birthday," and everyone just started laughing. I was like, "That was actually really good."
Yeah,
So
what's sad
smart
is
time.
I've already jumped a minute ahead. There's already a minute of just gayness before this, where they're just like, yeah.
All right, beat it.
Watch me. I'll do the fingering.
Oh, jeez.
Go on.
This is so gay. Watch me. I'll do the fingering. It goes on forever.
It does.
What are the comments like about it? Does anyone mention the fingering and the blowing?
Oh, hang on. Oh, I'm sure they do. That's the whole point of this scene being up there.
That's like the F me the meat and give it to me raw from the Rings of Power.
Whistle and I'll come. Blow gently like so. Watch me. I'll do the fingering. Now put your fingers where mine are. That's exactly lines from the fucking scene. I didn't even play the whole thing. Like I said, it goes on for so fucking long.
Hold on. That scene goes on for a few minutes? That's
3 minutes.
What?
Actually, closer
Oh, my
to 4.
goodness.
3 minutes and 44 seconds is the entire scene. And he goes, and then somebody else says, maybe I'm giving the script much too much credit, but I always thought the sexual innuendo was intentional. David is still better love story than Twilight. Cumberbatch and Fassbender went to the same acting school together. Cumberbatch and Fassbender always got top marks over him. Okay, that's just a regular. Yeah.
Maybe he's
unintentionally hilarious.
He must be attracted to Fassbender and robots, so he decided to put them together in one scene. Just saying. I mean, he
I
he
tear
wa-
up every time he says, "I'll do the fingering." Cinematic, it's fine. There's more gay tension in this scene than a Minecraft Let's Play. This is literally the only part of the movie I can remember. Me too. That's the sad part.
Yeah, to be fair, that's probably the only part I remember in one of those movies too.
The rest of it isn't that entertaining.
Walter, put your flute away, Walter. And then all the comments are like, how did the writers not realize how this sounded? David kisses Walter right on the mouth later, laughing my ass off. It's obvious, supposed to be sexual. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's like, clearly, he's more into gay fucking robots than he is into the aliens. Anyway, thank God Ridley Scott is gone. Wrong kid died. I'll say it again. Go make some gay robot movies now. Leave us alone. Maybe we'll start to get some actual decent movies out of Ridley Scott and some decent alien movies.
He probably has a blow-up doll at home, and he probably calls it the Wild Robot. So
it's probably David.
Yeah.
Jason Webster says Ridley Scott leaves Alien. Fans rejoice everywhere. Yeah, I don't know too many people. Even like the diehard Ridley people are just like, yeah, this has just gone too far. Jason Webster says 9 Puzzles in 2025 has become the second most successful K-drama to air on Disney Plus in the history of streaming service, second only to moving. Oh, so is Disney now buying up Korean content as well?
Yeah, everybody is.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Not surprised, Jason, but thank you for the heads
Yeah.
up. SFX F314 Sabretooth Raptor sends in 5 and says, not really interested in movies and TV shows coming out currently in near future. Rather watch MASH, MacGyver, Midnight's Edge, WDW Pro, and Overlord DVD, etc. I know the feeling, man. You know what I was watching last night? I was watching The Frantics because Paul had sent me some CDs and a DVD, and I was watching the DVD last night. It's pretty fucking funny. I can't believe they didn't have a show longer. But
I'm a little over a.
You should know them, CC.
I'm getting into One Piece, and I'm a little over 100 episodes in, so I got 1,000 episodes left.
You sweet summer child.
Yeah,
100 episodes.
It's gonna
You're
take
just
me
getting
a while.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't get my kids to come back to. I really enjoyed that show. We were all kind of watching it together for a while, and we're like 400 episodes in, and now they've just decided like they don't want to come back to it. And I'm like, well, I'm going to start watching it without you because this is pretty good. We all enjoyed the live action show as well. I'm really looking forward to the second season of that.
Yeah, I am now too, because I can actually watch it having watched the anime. Have like more of an actual context to whether they're doing it correctly, and it actually improves my opinion of the first season of that show.
Yeah, it's a really faithful translation, and I think the important part is that unlike a lot of these other things that Netflix has done, they actually involve the original creator, and he had a lot of input into what was going on when they made the live action version of the show. So yeah, worked really well. And the second season, the previews that we've seen so far all look pretty good too.
I'm curious as to how they're going to structure it from episode to episode.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole bunch of stuff between where the first season leaves off and the Arabasta arc, right? And that arc could be a season on its own. So we'll see how they pace it. But
yeah, there's definitely plenty of filler in there that they can lose.
Yeah. Anyway, that's hundreds of hours of my time. That's
There you
where
go.
Yes,
that's what I'm going to be watching for a while.
many
so-
hundreds of hours.
I know one thing y'all are going to be watching for sure, and that is the brand new Care Bears when it hits from Warner Brothers. So, who's looking forward to this?
Is it dark
They make
Care
this
Bears,
movie
or is
dark
it?
towards girls? It could do well. It could do well, and they put a story that can land with the audience. It could be done well. I mean, teddy bears are pretty much like a thing that can always be marketable, and you throw in the colors, that could be easily something that'll latch onto with girls. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, it's
Even
not.
Doomcock, well, I was just laughing at Doomcock. He goes, "Oh joy, now my life can be complete. All
Yes.
along there was an emptiness inside. Avoid."
Yeah, this
Sorry,
and
go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry, I was laughing
No,
at Doomcock.
I get you. I get you. I mean, yeah, if it lands with the right audience, the way a movie like Barbie does or Wicked does, sure, it can work in that regard. Like, I won't be into it, but it can work. Once again, they gotta make it something that's gonna resonate with kids and not just make it some rainbow flag movie. You gotta make it about the rainbow, but about the bears first. So
yeah, which one's going to
see.
be voiced by Pedro?
Oh!
Brown one.
Lionheart, the brown one.
A serious
Well, yeah,
question
that
here,
would
like,
make sense if it was a brown, because Pedro likes the shitty end.
what is their intent here? To make an actual like children's movie, or are they going to get a little
Probably.
spicy with it?
If not, I want Zack Snyder to direct it.
Is it going to be live action?
I think it's be
I'm
animated.
thinking it's going to be a hybrid, probably. We have no idea. It's just being developed, so I'm not surprised that they have. I'm kind of surprised they haven't done it sooner. Is what I meant
I
to
am
say.
too. I'm surprised it still took this long, because if you look at like toy aisles, they still like have them there. And I do see and hear of kids getting, like, girls obviously getting these as gift, whether it's for Christmas or birthday. So there's clearly still a demographic out there. And of course, you're gonna have the older audience for it too, who, I grew up with the Care Bears as well. So you're gonna have that as well. So you can lean into both demographics. This has the makings of something that could win. Like, it really does. It's just got to actually do that.
Well, I guess the Care Bears have had a movie or two before.
I think they have.
Actually, yes,
Oh, they have, yeah.
And I actually own them, believe it or not.
You're such.
And the
Are
first
you
one's-
serious, Tom?
I am dead fucking serious, and the
Oh,
first
for
one's
fuck's
really
sake.
good, actually.
Oh, I
The
had
first
no
one has
idea.
Mickey Rooney in it. Yeah.
The bears are names like Tenderheart Bear, Cheer
Yep.
Bear, and Grumpy Bear. The idea being to personify different emotions and positive traits to help children express their feelings and foster empathy.
Yeah, it's
I'm
about
too
being
old for
friends.
this. I missed out
Yeah.
on this whole thing.
No, and the first one's actually pretty good. It's got Mickey Rooney in it. And I'm trying to remember who the one of the voices in it. Yeah, Mickey Rooney. But like, it's about this kid who's like an orphan, and he gets like into this dark magic shit, and the fucking Care Bears have to say it gets fucking freaky at some point. It's like,
It does a bit,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, no. So my younger sister, was very much into the Care Bears when we were younger, and so I've seen just about everything Care Bear related that was made in the 80s and probably in the early 90s as well. So
the second
yeah,
one's more
it's-
fluffy. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
The
Oh,
first
yeah,
one,
the-
on the other hand, yeah.
And the TV show was just formulaic,
Yes.
Saturday
yeah.
morning crap. But yeah, I do remember watching a few of those films, and
Yeah, the second one was just an excuse to add more animals, because they went from not just having bears, they have like Lionheart and a bunch of other ones that are like
Yes,
other
yes.
animals.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
the
good news-
cousins, the Care Bear cousins.
Oh,
Yes.
good news about this one. The director, Josh Greenbaum, the last project that he worked on was a story about a road trip with Will Ferrell and his transgender.
Oh, that fucking guy?
Oh, my
shit.
God, no.
These are all going to be gay. This is going to be so fucking gay.
Well,
Yeah.
that flushes this one down the toilet.
yeah. Yeah, any hope for that went right out the fucking door. Because
we need a toilet effect for any time we find out, like,
Dude,
oh, yeah.
Actually, I think I do have
Girls are
one.
brought up. There's that one thing that takes it away.
Yep.
We just play the flushes toilet sound.
I've got this. That's all I've got.
That
Well,
sounds like
that's too
someone's being
cool, though,
fucked.
for this.
I have it, but I have so many different like layouts here that
Come
I have
on,
to
the
go
toilet
find
flushing
it.
is way better, and you know it.
Where is it? Here it is.
There you go. Let's make that the new sound going forward. After our
I need
hosts
to
are
add
brought
that to
up
my
and they
main
get
thing.
crushed immediately.
We have the sense of humor of a 7-year-old boy.
Yes, we
Oh,
have.
yeah,
Every
no
single one of
doubt.
us.
Hey, you're around us, it's bound to latch on. So
Yeah.
Man.
I've been I'd say I've been mentally
There. Now it's
for
officially in the main
years.
thing.
Oh, good.
There you go. All the time. So it's right next to.
That's when the whores come in.
Sounds like one of those low. Sounds like one of those low flow toilets
Yeah.
that uses like a quarter of a gallon of water to flush.
Yeah, it's a little splattery. Yeah.
It is kind of a short
Tom, could you
toilet.
add like a plop to it where the, the
I could.
brown
I'd have to
Care
make
Bear
a whole
drops
new
in?
one. I'd have to make a whole new one, but I could. Yeah.
Record
Zaslav
that
and his
tonight.
gay bears. It's amazing that that they didn't want to give him a raise.
Well, they already have a
Flush
theme
twice.
song.
Did you see Red Shirt's comment? Flush twice. It's a long way to Hollywood.
Shit. I've read that in so many fucking. Hey, Red Shirt, how you doing, buddy? I've read that in so many fucking bathrooms, man.
Oh, man. Oh, my face hurts.
The other one I always see in the bathroom is "Stand closer. It's shorter than you think."
I can't remember the last time I saw anything written on the wall in the bathroom.
Women don't write shit on the bathroom walls, do they?
Apparently not. Maybe in high school we did.
Oh,
Oh,
men
I
do
still
it all
see
the
it in
time.
dudes' bathrooms all the time. Like I saw one that said, like it points at like an arrow down, said whoever's using this toilet is a fig. And I'm like, oh, I guess that means I'm that.
Wow.
Like I said, one of my favorites was "Stand closer. It's shorter than you think." And,
Yeah.
so there's been some good ones. There's been some good ones. Yes, that's right. I did play the theme.
Poor kitty.
Look at me. Look, I'm gay. Go 141 sends with 50 Mexican. I'm not surprised Ridley Scott is gay. I didn't say he was, but women are way more expensive in Hollywood. Just ask Dee Dee. If I had to extend Hollywood women, I'll be a gay too. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't closeted. Honestly, is he married? I don't even know. Action Com says from bronies to bay buddies. Oh, God. Bear buddies? Is there a thing already, Action Com? Yeah, and you corrected yourself. Is it in the community? Is that a thing? I fucking hope not.
Oh, isn't that what they call like gay men who are really hairy?
Yes, but I'm wondering if there isn't.
And they're big.
Yes,
Aren't they called
but
bears.
yes, but and on that note, I'm just saying, is there a crossover like the bronies with the furry community? I hope not.
I would not. I'm literally the last person who's going to know about that.
If I catch anybody fucking a Care Bear, I'm calling the Humane Society.
Down.
God, poor Care Bear. Fucks a lot. That's the only one you get to fuck.
What color is that one?
All kinds of different colors. Mostly black and blue.
It's colored clear for the lube.
Woo!
SFX F314 Sabretooth Raptor sending in a big old $10 super chat. Thank you for that. It says Care Bears Alice in Wonderland is the best along with the first one. Need to get out of repeats, remakes, sequels. Hollywood needs to do a new IP. Stop mining the 80s. Yeah, that's the only thing with this that I'm kind of looking at it going, besides now that we've been informed who's behind this developing it, is that, yeah, these kids nowadays, they don't want our shit. They don't want reused crap. They want their own thing. Come up with something new. That's why, Bluey is so big, right?
That's why Minecraft did so well. Those are
exactly.
Their things. I'm not into Minecraft, but I get why it did well. And when I hear about both my daughters, all their friends are talking about it, they want to see movies too. Yes, believe it or not, kids do want to read. That's why they read manga. They want to go movies. That's why they go see a Minecraft movie. They want things to like too. It isn't just kids being on technology all day. They want things to do too. But we don't give them those things because we want them to latch on to what we have. There's a time and a place for it, as I say a lot. But when we make them 100%, if not nearly that, dependent on stuff from before, yeah, it's going to bum them out. It's going to disenfranchise them. And yeah, well, then you kind of add to the cause of them possibly becoming to a point where they won't want to get near entertainment. They're just going to be on technology all day because you contribute to it.
Well, Six sent me something here that just blew my fucking mind.
I did.
It did.
We'll start blowing.
Yeah.
This is something I can get behind. Samuel Jackson is in talks to star in a Tulsa King New Orleans spinoff. Inject
Was
this
he
shit.
the second season?
No, but inject this shit directly into my fucking veins now.
I'm
I
down.
bet you they're going to set it up in the third season, Nick, is my guess. Because I think they're shooting the third season right now, or just finished. Am I not mistaken? Or going to, one of the three.
Yeah. It's in some state of being
It's in some
created.
state of being creative, yes.
Yeah. Oh no, I'll take this. Yeah. Give me more Taylor Sheridan. Give me something else tied into Tulsa King. Yeah. Give me more.
With that humor and Samuel Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Sounds
please.
good.
Okay, so Jackson is positioned to take the lead of the next big Taylor Sheridan series. Samuel Jackson is headed to the next big. We just said that. The actor is deep in talks to tackle Paramount Plus spinoff Tulsa King, a spinoff of Tulsa King. The Hollywood Reporter first broke the news last year that a spinoff of Sylvester Stallone hit was in the works, with former series writer Terrence Winter previously noodling an idea set in New Orleans. Sources say the current plan is for Jackson to be introduced as a guest star character in the upcoming season. And there you go, third season of Tulsa King, which is currently in production in Oklahoma. If we'd have just read the fucking story like Six says. But to be fair, this did just
This
get
just
sent in.
dropped. Yeah.
Yes. Normally I do make the same mistake, though, of not reading them at a time. Currently in production in Oklahoma and Atlanta. And then launch his own series in addition. Deadline reports that Dave Erickson, mayor of Kingstown, will be writing the spinoff after previously taking over showrunning duties on Tulsa King for the new season. Casting would be quite a coup for executive producer Sheridan and for Paramount. In 2023, the Guinness Book of World Records declared Jackson the actor with the highest grossing collected box office of all time. Oh, I didn't know that. With his films including the that makes sense. The Avengers films and Pulp Fiction, for which he was nominated for an Oscar, and of course Jurassic Park would be the other reason. Yep.
Star Wars.
Bringing in Star Wars, of course. Yep, the 3 Star Wars prequels. You're right. That would all make sense. And he's appeared in over 150 films, accumulating over $7 billion in box office. So yeah, big fan of the original series. Looking forward to this. What do you guys say?
Nothing. I haven't
very
watched it. I have
random,
no comment.
but I hope that it's good. I still need to watch the second season of Tulsa King. I gotta make sure I watch that sometime between now and forever. Hopefully there's something that attaches it to us so that this makes sense. As much as I like the idea, another spinoff that seems very left field is kind of off, but hey, it could be fucking badass. I'm hoping it's good. So, especially in New Orleans, I'll say that sounds like it's a good fit. So, a little bit more information, but not a bad idea.
I love Tulsa King. R2, have you seen it?
Oh yes, it's an excellent series. I very much enjoyed Tulsa King, and like I said, give me more. I can't wait for the third season. I really enjoy a lot of the stuff that Taylor Sheridan has made, and so yeah, especially starring Samuel L. Jackson. This is going to be, it has the potential to be something really really fun.
Is Tulsa King, does that take place in New Orleans too, or is it like going to be NCIS, Miami?
I think that
You
it's
might
gonna
be
be
surprised where it takes place.
Yeah, it actually
Where
takes
does it
place in
take place?
Tulsa.
Tulsa.
Oh fuck! Oh shit!
Yeah, the whole. Well, I think you might actually get a kick out of the series for the most part. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember if there's anything that you wouldn't like in it, but I don't think there is offhand at first memory. But yeah, it's just basically this mobster who sat his time in prison, didn't talk, and when he gets out, the thanks he gets is they ship him off from New York to Tulsa, the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
So then he just starts taking over. Like,
But why
one of
did
the
they
best-
send him there?
Because they wanted to get him out of the picture, and because
Yeah.
he's just not part of the crew anymore. So, and he's old. It's
Oh.
Sylvester Stallone, right? Like, and the young guy, the young guy that's taking over doesn't like him either. So there's more to it than that. And getting too deep into it would give away a lot of the character stuff in the series. But then Just the basic idea is, though, when he gets to Tulsa, he just starts taking the fuck over.
Yeah. I mean, he literally just walks in and starts taking over. He walks.
Yeah, the best part is like the weed shop guy. He's like,
yes.
He's like, I'm here to protect you. He's like, I didn't need any protection until you came along. Yeah, that's an idea of what the show is basically like.
Yeah.
And then, of course, everything starts amping up from there. And then, of course, the mob starts getting more involved once they see that there's plays to be made and stuff like that.
Yeah. He starts moving in on the weed business, and then a lot of the people who are already in the, in the distribution of weed in Oklahoma and the surrounding area, they start getting upset that he's moving in on them, and so he has conflicts with other players in the area. And, it's
also got Neil
there.
McDonough in it, and God, I can't remember the name of the guy from the IT. Is he in the IT crowd or was
no? I was
the Valley,
Silicon Valley. Yeah,
Silicon Valley. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah. And I liked his character in particular, as it you slowly start to realize he's way more of a criminal than he
that's
made
kind of
on
where Stallone kind of gets
initially.
him. Yeah. But yeah, not to give away too much, you guys should really check it out if you haven't.
Especially
it's
the
fun
first
show.
season. The first season is fantastic from beginning to end. The second season was a little rough, but I really did enjoy it.
There is some discussion about some things that you may have an issue with, Six, but I'll talk to you about that behind the scenes. But yeah, anyway.
Is it
if you
better
decide
than
to watch
Godfather 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In most ways, yes, I will say that. Although I do like Godfather 3. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
Yes.
Dead Man gifted a membership. Thank you for that, Dead Man. We appreciate that. And whoever got it, lucky you. So yeah, CC, have you seen the original show at all? Are you looking forward to this?
I have seen Tulsa King, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, especially the weed shop guy.
Mm-hmm.
Some great characters outside of Svet, and that was like a real ensemble cast. So if you haven't, if anybody who hasn't seen it, I fully and heartily recommend it. Mm-hmm. And then Samuel L. Jackson is one of the very, very few actors who I will accept in just about any possible role. I'll even get spicy here and say I would accept him in a race swap. If you take a white character, I mean, there's only a couple people that I would even like consider for that kind of a garbage, right?
I think his
Samuel L. Jackson
already was. Yeah, it was.
Nick Fury. His one big flaw though is he doesn't have many variations of what he does for acting. Yeah, he's very entertaining at what he does. Very entertaining. There's no doubt about that. But he does play the same character, and for pre-established characters, I would hold that against him. Depending,
he has a
on
good
the
version
character.
and a bad version, though. Nick,
Yes.
I will say that.
Like, put it this way: for Nick Fury, this race swap version of Nick Fury, okay, great. But if you're being, let's just say, Blade, I don't want that with my Blade. I don't need him to go full Samuel Jackson.
He could have played Blade maybe 40 years ago, but not now.
But in terms of him, I know how like he gets very attitudey, which is very entertaining. I don't need my Blade to be talking like that. I like my Blade being cold and stoic.
Yeah,
fair enough. But here's one of the best scenes from the first season of Tulsa King. This one went viral.
This is classic.
Yeah.
What's going on with this country in general nowadays? Does that mean like your generation? Seriously. Come on. And these pronouns. What the fuck is with the pronouns? He, she, him, they, the, boom, bang, ba, fang, cool. You know what my pronoun is? Guess. Time's up. It, as in it, can't take this shit anymore.
Yes. He's he's super high in that scene, by the way.
And I love it that he keeps sucking on like the fucking popsicles.
Yes,
the lollipops
THC,
and shit.
THC lollipops. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I still gotta get that second season watched. Maybe I'll finally get on that. Hopefully.
Yeah, we should do a mob movie too.
That's a good idea, dude.
Definitely.
How have we not thought of that? Such a obvious idea. There was once upon a time that was all the rage, and that was a great rage to have, man.
Again, I'd have to sit down and curate it, but yeah, I think we could probably pull it off between Scorsese and Coppola alone.
Oh, dude, man.
And De Palma will throw in Scarface.
Would you count Road to Perdition as part of it? Because I would.
Yeah, you could. I haven't seen it in like 20 years, but yeah. There's probably some that you could make some exceptions with.
They filmed that movie about half hour from where I live, or a portion of that movie. Road to Perdition. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
One of the not so good fucking gangster movies, the Johnny Depp one, was Christian Bale. They filmed not too far from where I grew up. Yeah.
What's it called again?
Public Enemies or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, I never saw that one.
They shot it in Baraboo because they have all the historic downtown buildings and shit.
Yeah. You got quite a few for that list, depending on how you wanted to draw the line.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'd almost have to do like 70s and 80s or
definitely the
70s
Untouchables,
to the 90s or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Untouchables. Donnie
I was gonna say De Palma would be on there at
there.
least with
Scarface,
Scarface,
Untouchables,
yeah, it would probably be a fun list. We'll definitely keep that one.
Very fun list. We would all become Italian by the end of the show.
Bafangu.
I feel like I need to make a calzone.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Yeah. Leave the canola, or leave the gun, take the cannolis. Yeah.
I just watched The Godfather with my son this week for the first time.
Oh, really? How old is he?
He turns 15 next week. So,
okay, so decent age. All right.
Yeah. So he was like, "Hey, can we watch The Godfather?" I'm like, "Can we watch The Godfather? I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. Like my son wants to watch The Godfather."
You feel like you become like a proud dad when you have
that, like my son wants to watch The Godfather. So I said, hell yes, we'll watch The Godfather. So we sat down, we watched it. He really enjoyed it. Yeah, there were some parts he was extremely surprised. He was not expecting quite so much of the violence, I think. He was not expecting that, but he really did enjoy it. So now we're figuring out when we're going to sit down and watch part 2. Because he said, is it just as long? I'm like, it's longer, dude. It's it's almost 4 hours long.
I watched for the first time with my oldest The Sandlot, and she loved it. Even the scene with Squints and Wendy, that scene I thought was hilarious. I was just like, your taste in movies is going to be that of someone who's in their 30s. Like compared to everyone else your age, it's gonna be so out of place.
Oh yeah, my kids are like they live in the 80s basically, because that's all that we show them is stuff from the 80s and 90s that we grew up with. Because so much of the new stuff is just garbage.
It's shit. Yeah. Then Deadman sends in 5. It says Paramount Plus has somehow become the better streaming service, and Pluto TV is free with pretty much all Star Trek now. They have all the movies. Well, yeah, because Paramount Plus was like the second one to turn around and go, yeah, maybe we'd make some more money if we license some of our old shit out, like Warner Brothers is doing. But yeah, Paramount Plus, as far as their original content, just between Beavis and Butthead, the Taylor Sheridan shows, Mobland alone, is the reason I have it.
Yeah,
and then you get the South Park specials on top of it.
TMNT.
So,
I watched TMNT.
TMNT's there, but I have all those already. But yeah. But yeah, no, it's not a bad service. It's just, unfortunately, these services are not going to last forever the way they are. Sergeant Point Blank says Miller Crossing better be on the mob list. You know, I don't know if I've ever seen that one, to be honest with you. I'll have to check that one out. I will. And I'm so glad we got so many great listeners sending in all the new Care Bears we're going to get in this new movie, like BLM Bear.
Fight the
an
Power
LGBTQ
Bear.
plus ally bear. Oh, we got more. We got Don't Fucking Care Bear. Not every day can be a rainbow, evidently.
Who made that one?
I don't know, but it's funny. And then this one.
So hard. I dare me so.
Goodbye, rainbows.
It puts the lotion on its fur.
Oh shit! And this one's cute too. Yeah, little pinhead.
Oh shit! Well done, world.
Yeah, send more if you want. Before we're done, if we get them, we'll share them. I think we got at least one more story. I'm not so sure. Let me see here. Did we get them all, or did we have more?
I sent you like 17 today.
I know you did, but let me see what we got here that everybody's going to talk about. Okay, we got the Dracula trailer. We got 2. That one's.
And did you want to show
I wasn't even
the
aware of this
Superman
thing.
pictures?
Yeah, there's those two. I think we talked about some of those yesterday, though.
Complete set. Oh, okay.
But this Dracula thing, I wasn't even aware of this till you brought it up to me. And this is
It's a bit of a
from-
fringe Dracula.
It looks
I mean,
like it, but
it's no Twilight. Let's be honest.
but it has. I'm trying to look who's directing it.
Luc Besson.
That's what it is. Yes, Luc Besson is
Yeah.
directing it. So it's kind of interesting. Let's see if we can get away with showing it. Fuck it. Although I have a feeling Andre will want to bring this up tomorrow.
I guess you'll have to get it up twice for him.
I mean, so far, it looks pretty basic Dracula, yeah.
That's the Emu version of Adrian Brody. I mean, he looks a lot like him.
He kind of is. Let's see where this goes.
Tell me your story. My story.
Yeah, this looks a lot like Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, just wait. You haven't seen it.
100 years ago, I asked a priest that God spare my wife.
So they literally ripped off this. Okay, so this is Bram Stoker's the Francis Ford Coppola one.
Yes.
To be clear.
They are going back to the original story.
No, but this isn't even in the original Dracula. This is shit
okay.
that Francis Ford Coppola ones added with the Dracula, the whole Vlad the Impaler background. All that shit that's in the first half of the movie, first part of the movie, that's not in the book. That's none of that shit's in the book. That's all added. Yeah, so I don't know how he's getting away with this, to be honest with you.
Did not.
Well, they are changing it back. So it's not a suicide.
Tell
She was
your
killed.
God. My life no longer belongs to him.
It's still the same kind of
I've
thing.
lived on waiting for her return.
My master.
He's been looking for his beloved for more than 400 years.
Christoph Waltz is in this too. He's in fucking Frankenstein in this.
His princess.
This man is the devil.
I mean, it doesn't look bad, but we already have one at home.
Mina's in danger. Repent for your salvation.
So it sounds like he might be playing. Oh god, that shot looks like it's right out of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Sounds like he might be playing. Shit.
The banjo?
Yeah, I just forgot his name. The main the guy that fights Dracula. Jesus Christ.
The sheriff?
Yes, the sheriff. How does nobody know who I'm talking about? Van
I don't
Helsing.
know.
Thank you.
She is my salvation. But you are her damnation.
Interesting. I don't know. I'm mixed on it. What do you guys think? 6?
I obviously love anything vampires, so I love it. It's gonna be one of those cheesy loves though.
Yeah, Nick, are you looking forward to it?
It's a type of movie where if a lady came into my life and said, "Hey Nick, we go see this," I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's go see it. And it's nothing against like Dracula is not like a big thing for me. I like it. I'm currently enjoying Matt Wagner and Kelly Jones's take on the character. It's just for me to see a yet another Dracula movie. I'm definitely gonna need to be surprised by it, but we'll see. Could end up being something I see on a $5 Tuesday type of night. We'll see. So it looked okay. It looked okay. Didn't look awful. Definitely didn't look awful.
Professor R2?
Oh, you know what? If this is your thing, enjoy it. You're not going to get me to care about vampire movies.
So you're not a fan of vampire
No,
movies, all right.
I mean, honestly, the trailer looks fine, but yeah, I'm not just not something that interests me.
Fair enough. CC?
It looks expensive, so I'm kind of wondering how much they're spending on this. But it also looks pretty. The costume design, the framework, the way it's filmed, cinematography, set design. It looks good and expensive. I can't really get a sense from the trailer whether it's going to actually be good or not. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I'm keep an eye on it. Could be Oscar bait for all that's even worth anymore.
Yeah,
And is
I'm
it going to
curious.
be in English?
It sounds like it, yeah.
Well,
It
but
just looks-
I was wondering if that was a dub or was it filmed in English and then the what do you call the words on the screen that were in French? Subtitles were.
Well, that was Christoph Waltz's voice, so I mean, he's at least doing his bits in English. So.
Oh, okay. Because I was looking to see if when there was dialogue being said, if there was like lips moving on the screen, and I didn't.
There was during the Christoph Waltz stuff, but
okay,
I can't speak to the rest. That's a good point because I mean, it looks like it is possibly a French film. So, well, we'll have to see. Comes out.
I think the guy playing Dracula is butt ugly, which kind of sucked the life out of it.
Yeah,
I'd rather make out with what's
suck the life out of it. I get it.
I didn't even do that on purpose. But yeah, I mean, and it's not even going to be cheesy love. It's going to be not great, but I love vampires. So,
what's your favorite Dracula, Six? I'm curious.
Oh, Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. It's just kind of a remake of that.
Well, yeah, and Sander in chat was saying, it makes him want to watch Coppola. Like, why would I watch this movie that we just saw when I could watch Francis Ford Coppola's? And I agree with what Cece was saying about the set design and the costumes and all that. But even, how old is that movie? 20, 30 years? That was even better. I'm sure they had, more money, but I'm an easy sell for vampires.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we haven't had 50 different versions of Dracula, but to me, I'm looking at this, and that's my issue, and that's why I made the joke we already got one at home, right? This has shades of Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula all over it. Now, I get it. They're telling the same story, but the Vlad the Impaler stuff really sticks out to me because that was all added in the Francis Ford Coppola version. That was the first time they really connected the two on film. And in the book, it doesn't really get into any of that kind of stuff. It's like just notes and letters and accounts. And it's all kind of straightforward in the time. It's not like there's a big bunch of flashbacks or anything like that in the book. Right. So I don't know. We'll see. It looks weird, but I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it because I've seen, I don't know how many different Dracula movies over the years. So.
Well, it'll work for your tier list down the line. Hint, hint.
I mean, if you own 2 Care Bear movies, you better at least watch this one.
Oh yeah, I'd watch this. Yeah, there's definitely no reason why I wouldn't that I can see offhand. I'm a sucker for a Dracula movie.
Oh, he's a sucker. It was very important that it make it sound as retarded as possible.
Yeah. Well, there was something coming out. I think we'll wrap up on this. The Superman movie. There's a bit of controversy. Now, I don't know this for sure, so I can't confirm or deny or anything like that. But there is a new toy that came out that says on its box, instead of the American way, the human way. Truth, justice, and the human way. So now, Cosmic Book News ran with this, amongst others, that they're ditching it altogether.
No, I know. I saw your post on it, which was a very interesting point. I was talking earlier to
indeed.
Sean's House about this, And because we were talking about the misconception, maybe misunderstanding, deception, what is, what isn't. I said, assuming that this is true for this movie, it would mean that what Peter Safran said back in February of 2023 would be inaccurate, or he was just always lying all along. Because what was the line again? Oh God, I actually have it literally written. I have it read, but it was that whole. It was about how the movie was going to be about truth, justice, and the American way. It was back when they had the whole announcement for the DCU. Oh, I got it. I found it. Okay, so bear with me here. It's not an origin story. It focuses on Superman's balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. He's the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way. He's kindness in a world that thinks of kindness as old-fashioned. This was from Deadline of January 2023. Tom, I'm going to put it in your private, so if you want to look at that receipt.
Put it in my private, baby.
So I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe it could be an overseas toy, which does happen. That was a good point about the Captain America movie and the toy. So there could be tons of things going on. I don't know yet. I'm going to wait and see on this one. I know it's easy to get mad right now, and I'm not saying that Warner Bros. Deserves the benefit of the doubt. They don't. But I'm going to wait and see on this one because I think there's not enough there for us to say if this is a legitimate problem or not. Now, should the movie come out and it becomes that type of issue, well, then we can cross that bridge should we get there.
Have we seen the toy, or is this like we're hearing this 17th?
I have seen it.
Okay.
But yeah, and going along with what Nick's saying, this was from Rachel Brosnahan back
a big thing coming in the next couple months. The most viewed trailer in Warner Brothers
With your arm, dumbass.
history, they were telling me.
Crazy. Yeah, they did
Right?
mention that. That's awesome. So
And then the gay
What are you most
cameraman
excited
zooms
for us to
in.
see?
I feel like we're living through a moment right now where things are tough for so many people. A lot of darkness out there, and these movies, these kinds of movies, as much as people sometimes rag on these superhero movies, they bring people joy. They make them happy, and they invite people into the fantasy where the good guys beat the bad ones. And I think we just need a little bit more of that right now, where courage wins and the pursuit of truth and justice are the American way, and I'm excited to be able to share that with an audience, especially in this moment.
When you
She
got the
looks
call
like
that you were going
Lois
to be a
Lane,
part,
which is what I like. I like that she looks like, and she talks like someone who I'm like, okay, I can see her being Lois Lane. So, I mean, I have a feeling, should I have some problems with this movie, assuming that I do, I don't think Rachel Brosnahan is going to be one of them. She's probably going to knock it out of the park as Lois Lane. I have very optimistic feelings about her particular character. So, and I hope I'm right about that. I want her to be 5 stars and then knock it out as Lois Lane.
Me too.
Because that would be great. And, we have a Jimmy Olsen. We even have a Cat Grant again as well, too, which I will give credits for the posters for. I know there's been some controversy in the posters. I had no idea there was going to be a Cat Grant in them. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's not like the most important character, but it's cool that that character is in there. I actually would much rather have a smaller role for a Cat Grant than to have 900 other heroes in the movie. I find, to me, that's fine. She's a part of the Superman cast, so I would prefer that overall than having a bunch of heroes there and take away from the Superman story, his character, and his character's supporting cast.
What do you think of Miss Tessmacher?
She's got a lovely rack.
She's the one holding the phone, taking the selfie with.
Oh, on the poster.
She does have a poster, but she has like a 2-second part in one of the trailers.
I'd have to look at it again.
Okay.
I'd have to go look at it and make a judgment. Maybe it just wasn't there for me that it really registered. Oh, hey, that's Miss Tessmacher. So I'd have to see more, really, to be fair. So I'm trying to at least look at this the best way as I can from a very in the middle standpoint. Oh yeah, see, I remember her being in the trailers, and I've seen both trailers.
Yeah, she's in the trailer taking a selfie with there's a fight going on in the background.
She's in like a high rise, and she's got these windows behind her, and she's taking a selfie.
Okay. I mean, we'll see how her character is. I'm not sure where I'm at with her. But either way, I like what I've seen of Cat Grant and Lois Lane. As far as you could say, the women of Superman are looking to be so far. I'll say this: 2 out of 3 so far aren't looking bad. And if it ends up being 3 for 3, awesome. But we got also get our boy Jimmy Olsen right, and it's very important that we get Clark Kent right. And I made it clear that even though the appearance of the Kents was far from ideal, their dialogue that we got in the trailers, both of them, Ma and Pa Kent, was really good. I thought that they both had great lines to say that. I'm like, okay, I buy this dialogue. And it definitely makes up for them not really looking at their characters, because at least they did something that really reminded me of Ma and Pa.
Yeah, Pa Kent reminded me of Uncle Jesse from Dukes of Hazzard, but I agree with what you're saying about the dialogue.
Oh man.
What do you think, Cece?
I remain pessimistic because I'm 40 years old. I'm getting to that point where I'm just too damn old. And there hasn't been a Superman movie that was any good in my entire lifetime. So you got to prove it.
Hold up. You're only 2 years older than me? I thought you were younger than me.
No.
I'm serious. I thought you were younger than me.
No.
Bro. My mind's blowing out. No, I do want this to be good. I want this to be good so bad. Like I made sure, like I've already told my children, advanced kids, so you know, I'm gonna have 900 conversations about this movie around this week. If you need to go in another room, I get it. If it's great, Dad's gonna talk about Superman again, I'm not gonna blame you, but just be wary that there's gonna be mandatory viewings of Superman the movie, Superman the animated series, probably a little bit of George Reeves and Dean Cain thrown in the mix as well, and of course the other DC animated Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, which had Superman in it. And I've been binge reading Superman the last week. I'm currently on some Action Comics. Actually, I'm doing the Dan Jurgens second run on Dan Jurgens right now. So I'm trying very hard to get into a Superman mode. That's how much I want to love this movie.
Now you're just prepping for it. This is not homework, correct? This is a homework-free movie.
I mean, it could end up being homework in retrospect, but it's not intended to be homework. Definitely not. I do want to reread for all seasons and also our Superman, because they're fantastic stories. And I even got some older, more kookier covered Superman comics. I'm like, okay, I gotta read this. Oh, actually, no, hold on. Let me whip them out for you. I got it on screen.
Yeah, whip it out, Nick.
Let me dig. Let me dig in here. All right, I got it. I'm touching it. All right. So when I was at Dallas Fan Expo a few days ago,
you can't do that on YouTube.
Well, bear with me here. Okay, I gotta do this. But I saw this, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. So I'm like, Action Comics, a really kooky cover. Anything that's got a really kooky cover, that's always going to get me to read it.
I don't even recognize that one, yeah.
And then there's this one as well. Stop the Wedding. No one marries Superman but me. Dude. Oh, feels very nice in my hands, believe me. And the paper on this smells really good. So, yeah, I'm going old school and new school, whichever new school that I enjoy, of course. So, yeah, I'm absolutely doing every bit I can to really get in the Superman mode for this movie. That's how bad I want this to be good. So, yes, it does feel very nice, Donovan Bradford. Trust me on that one. It was a very nice cop and feel.
I love it when it smells good, too.
Oh.
Weird.
All right.
Either Die a Hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. And Six has been around us long enough. Now she's starting to talk like us.
Yeah, so the source of this Superman thing, and thanks to Professor R2, and this is where I saw it too, was on the head knockers box.
Head knockers.
Yeah, they're like bobbleheads basically. I've got a couple of them.
Yeah, they're resin figurines.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're just I got like a Chucky one and
does the head
one.
move? I mean, does it bobble?
Yeah, it bobbles.
Yeah, it's like your classic bobblehead.
Okay.
But they're really well done as far as like the quality and the design. They're not like the stupid Funko Pops where everything's all cartoonized. Like as you can see, it looks just like he does in real life, just with a big head, right? So.
Okay.
I mean, you don't see the resemblance.
It's not my type of toy.
They zoom in on the text a little bit in the other picture.
Yeah, so there's here it says, and I saw, this is what I saw too. It says Superman must reconcile his alien Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as a reporter, as reporter Clark Kent, as the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way. He soon finds himself in a world that views these as old-fashioned.
Wow, those words sound similar to the Peter Safran statement from 2023.
Can you put that back up?
Oops.
I wanted to ask Professor R2. I suspect everybody and everything of non credible. It just doesn't look. It doesn't look real to me, but I'm not really familiar with this toy. But this is what I wanted to ask you, Professor. There's no after justice. I would have put a comma. So that's why
It does. You're right. Now you just mentioned that it does. It isn't grammatically correct.
Are you using your Oxford comma, or
I'm using my
are you gonna
Oxford
leave that
comma.
out? Yeah, because some people leave that out.
But
they already used one for truth.
Well, you would. You wouldn't after justice.
So that's why I'm wondering. Like, is this from another country? And
it's most certainly was produced in a different country. And we've seen
what
plenty of errors been made in text.
No, but I think the point that Six is trying to make is the same one that I made on Twitter, and that is that how do we know this isn't for a toy that's for a country outside the U.S.?
Yeah, to be sold in a different country, I guess is what I meant.
Because like with Captain America, all that stuff was labeled as First Avenger.
Yeah.
Not Captain America, for instance.
I guess personally, I am. I'm keen to believe it because I thought they would never use the phrase "truth, justice, and the American way" in this new film anyway. I don't think Hollywood would allow such a thing to show up in a new Superman film. And I also have a $20 bet with another YouTuber that they won't use it. So.
Well, that's good. Just got it more interesting.
Yeah.
No, but I see what Six is saying too. Is if like, look, I wouldn't put it past a Snyder bro to do this, to make this fake thing here and fuck up.
That's
and not
entirely
realize,
possible. Yeah,
and
the
fuck
Snyder
up
bros.
and not realize they forgot the fucking comma. Like,
I don't know, but I'm not a professional writer. It's just something that.
No, I get what you're saying. Six. It does look off now that you mention it. I don't know. The zoom in doesn't really show that it's off, but yeah, I mean, I don't see anything else to kind of signify. But I wouldn't put it past Snyder Bros. They've done stupid shit like that.
I want this movie to succeed so badly.
Yeah, there are. I will say this much: if you go to Entertainment Earth, which is a well-known distributor here in the U.S., they do have this bobblehead for sale. Pre-order for the US. It does not show the back of the packaging, but it shows the rest of it. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
it is a product for the US.
I actually have a sponsorship through them if you use our code thing.
Yeah.
I never really made anything off it, so.
Whoa. Oh no, Mecha J just reminded me. What if it was some disgruntled Snyder fan made that?
That's
thing
what I just said.
Yeah.
Maybe you stepped away, but yeah, that's what I literally just said.
Damn Snyder Bros.
I said I wouldn't put it past them one bit.
No, and I absolutely would not. They are that deranged, that disgruntled, and not all of them. It's just there's a strong portion of them
Well, and it's funny
love
is
to do that because
even-
we've had some reasonable take people come around this corner. You know, we've had good discussion with them, but even a lot of those ones, no, hey, yeah, there's some really psychotic ones on the side, and we're sorry that these people are psychotic, which they don't owe us apologies for. Psychos owe us the apologies.
Even on the entertainment, well, I can just share it here, I suppose. Even on the website here, it says pending.
Yeah.
Final approval. So I'd like to know where they even got these from. Because it doesn't even come out till October.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's what, like, it might be the cousin of the barber, of the plumber, of some guy who works in the factory who took a picture.
Could be.
Like, I'm not trying to make it like it's some big
No, I know.
conspiracy, but I just
No, I
want
get
them
what
to
you're
say
saying.
the American way.
Yeah. It could easily have been faked. There's no question.
It could
And
be faked,
very,
and or I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't
I
really
would
like
not-
the font either.
Like, yeah, you don't even have to mess with the font. You just copy and paste the other word human
Yeah.
into that space and
true.
drag the line over a little bit.
It's going to ruin the movie for me, though. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Well, and
It's
then
gonna be
again,
good.
I can see if it's like stuff that'll be on worldwide products, they might not. So okay, so this comes from NECA, and both posts say pending approval, and I can't even find the original post anymore.
Excellent point, Soul Nightmare, who says, remember the Wicked website scandal?
That's true.
Yes, indeed.
That is true. See, because I click on the original photo of it that NECA posts, or it has at least the NECA insignia on the top. And even that says pending final approval underneath it. And when I click on it, it doesn't even take me to that original picture anymore. It takes me to something else altogether. And I can't find that picture anymore. So they either removed it or something, because, yeah, I'm not finding it here. So I don't know. It's a little sus. A little sus. I'm gonna
Smells
say
a
that
little
much.
sussy.
Smells a little sussy.
Oh man.
Because I can't find any other pictures of it in the original image here. Emmanuel Devin Newsom is the one who posted it in DC official partners with NECA. Okay, so it was from that story, but that image is no longer there, which is weird. See, because I tried to bring it up, and all I get is the thumbnail version of it. See?
Yeah.
See, it's all like, I don't know if you can see how digitized it is, but yeah. So, on here, somebody posted it on X. Maybe I can bring that up, but yeah.
I'll bet it was one of the Snyder Bros who did it.
Same thing there. I click on the X version and it's gone. Huh.
That was a joke, Tom, because you already mentioned it. You didn't catch it because he wasn't listening. That's okay.
No, I heard, but I'm trying to figure out where the fuck this even came from initially.
I'm seeing people mentioning who's doing all tie-ins for Superman, MLB, NHL. I saw Dairy Queen is doing a Superman tie-in with their ice cream. I saw that.
Did you do an image search, Tom?
Yes, that's what I'm on right now.
Do it, Tom.
You pasted
Do the cream.
Not gonna lie, I'm just impressed if you know how to do an image
Yeah,
search.
I did.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I'm
I'll
on
just
right
do
now.
one of my own just in case.
No, go for it.
Harvey.
Anyhow.
And yeah, if even if this was real, if they get enough nasty feedback, it's entirely
This
possible.
is where they got it from. Right
they
here.
decide to drop it.
This is where
and
they
change
got
it
from
before
right
October.
here.
What's that website?
This is ZL Collectibles.
Z Collectible.
Never heard of them. Does anybody in chat have y'all heard of them?
To be fair, there's a lot of companies, so I'm not gonna really knock on it for depending on the company. There's so many
It is there. So I mean, it's not like somebody faked it. This is there. It does say the human way. Let me see if I can zoom in on it.
That is retarded.
That's
the human way is very outright fucking retarded.
Well, it's not the Kryptonian way; it's the human way, right?
I think that might be also what they're referring to, but
and it's also not the Chicago way.
I would much rather have them, if they're going to do this type of crap and lie, they could have at least then just do the original version, which was Truth and Justice, because that does sound good. But to me, they perfected it with Truth, Justice, and the American Way. Obviously, you can argue that the motivations to why the American Way is added in were questionable. But to me, it's one of those things where certain things get added on to certain characters and they stick. And no matter how much you try to deviate from it throughout the times, you always come back around to it. Certain things for certain characters stick. It happened with Dick Grayson when he became Nightwing. Once he became Nightwing, it stuck, though that was a much later thing. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, much, much, much later change for him. And it happened. Superman had been around for a few years, and there was obviously some stuff that went on between art and government, as our friend Script Doctor mentioned over our discussion about it. And I'm like, yeah, no, you're true. However, to me, it was still perfected when it would add in that word. And throughout time, yes, it would be kind of not neglected, but it just wouldn't be mentioned. And then other mediums of the character would come back to that statement. So no matter how much throughout time we would try to alter it, we would constantly come back to square one. And it's just one of those things that has stood the test of time and kind of became synonymous with the character. And in my strong opinion, that is the version that's become the definitive take of their character with Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
So Leah McNeil in the chat pointed out that it does say the human way on the IMDb page. And I checked, and it does. So that's it.
Yikes.
Isn't that,
And that's
like
straight from the
Wikipedia?
studio.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the storyline tag right here. As
Yikes.
the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way, he soon finds himself in a world that views these as old-fashioned.
But isn't IMDb, isn't that oh fuck.
Are you mistaking it for Wikipedia, where anyone can change
Yeah, isn't that-
IMDb would have been
Could be.
would the material would have been added by the studio.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll see when the movie
that's
actually
right
comes
there.
out how they handle that. But,
Sorry that we got so damn deep in the weeds on this
yes,
one.
indeed. And to make it up to you, here is Pickles Cage.
Yes.
And it can be nice. Make me go now. And I have to come back. Not once, not twice, but as many times as I let me in now.
This
I'm not
is
letting you in.
scary.
Wow.
That is some nightmare fuel.
Yeah, that really is.
I'm a
nightmare
pickle.
fuel.
I just found the on the NECA Facebook
Yeah.
page. They have the picture too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I believe it. Like I said, it's legit, but we'll see how the movie itself personally handles it. That could just be kind of a generic line they use just because of, like I said, international stuff. But anyhow, Action Com says, did they use CGI in the new Dracula? Coppola refused to use computers and only used old special effects techniques. This is true. In that one we just watched the trailer, oh hell yeah, because that wolf for sure is CGI in the start. I don't know about like the backgrounds and stuff, but definitely that wolf is. Joe Pat 87 says, what? Nothing about AMC adding pre-movie ads? Well, I mean, I guess we could bring this up, but I mean, my whole point to this was they already do have ads. So what?
And they're going to add even more ads
Yeah.
on top of the ads that they already have. I know I mentioned this on Twix earlier. The last 3 movies that I have seen at an AMC, and this is not exclusive to the AMC, but just since the things about AMC, all my movies have had anywhere between 20 and 25 minutes of preview. So if they're going to factor in more ads, we're probably looking around 25 to 30 minutes of ads. Where I'm going with this is if you go to a movie and AMC is your option, whether it's your preferred one or your only one, if a time says 5:30, be in the auditorium by 5:50. That way, either the movie is right about to start or you'll have 5 to 10 minutes of previews at worst. And 5 to 10 is survivable, but it's getting really irritating dealing with 20 to 25 minutes of previews. So I think I need to figure out a way to solve this problem myself. And if AMC wants to play this game, Well, hell, I'll fight fire with fire too. I will not watch this trash.
You're not wrong. I mean, the average is probably 20 to 25 minutes.
I remember when it was freaking 10 minutes, 10, 15, just over half a decade ago. This is crazy now. And then they're thinking,
have to go back.
We want to give people a reason to go back to theaters. When you factor in the expensive tickets and the short release window from theatrical to screening, and then you're going to throw in all these ads and previews. People at worst deal with a minute and 30 of it from their TVs at home. Wow, great incentivization, guys.
They'll have to can the assigned seating. Go back to the old days where first come, first serve. So you better get there early.
I'm surprised they do that, to be honest with you. To me, that is one thing that seems very against their business, because you're not wrong. Like, because all that does is give people incentive not to show up on time. Because Nick's not wrong. 9 times out of 10, unless I know I'm going to like an early screening or a special screening, there's no way I'm going to be late for a movie unless I'm a half hour late. There hasn't been once that I've been late to a movie since Godzilla, and that was because there was 0 fucking ads before -1. Not a single ad. So I missed like the first 2 or 3 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
so
I missed the first couple minutes of Beetlejuice because the fucking theater manager wouldn't shut the fuck up. But otherwise, I'm in my seat ready to go. I want to see all the trailers. I don't want to see trailer Ford commercial, trailer tampon commercial. I don't
it
want
already
any of
is that. That's the problem.
No, not after the trailers start.
Okay, is that what they're changing now? Is that what this story is all
they're
about?
like intermixing commercials with the trailers is how I understood it.
I mean, I still get commercials once in a while, it feels like, in trailers. Not all. I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, when you go in, they have, like, this is my normal experiences. They'll have either a slideshow with local things on it or nothing at all. And then you, like you said, the ads will start up. They'll do like a few ads, then a trailer. But then sometimes it'll be like a ad trailer thingy. Like, my problem is this. I wouldn't care so much if the ads and the trailers weren't things that we already seen other places a million times. That's already been my problem with trailers, as it were. Because, like you, Six, I used to love seeing all the trailers. I used to be somebody who'd get there right away. Because I'd like to see all the trailers and all that kind of stuff. But now that we see all that shit on the internet, to me, it's a yawn fest. It's like, I've seen this 6 times now. I don't need to see this trailer again.
Well, your TV's bigger than my house, so I like the big screen.
That being said, yes, I get what you're saying, and that is a very sound argument for it. But even still, my point is like, what difference does it make when I can analyze a trailer frame by frame at home?
Yeah,
I don't need to see it in the theater. And otherwise, give me trailers that are theatrical only trailers, right? That's the big difference in how you can change that, because to me, I never understood the seating thing, because it just gives people incentive not to show up till late, and that's the way most of these people do now. I hate it, because you get into the movie and you're like, oh, nobody's here, and then all of a sudden 5 minutes into the movie, shit tons of people show up because they're lazy and late, and it's like
fuckers,
and disrupt the first 5-10 minutes of the movie. Yeah. Oh, the Karate Kid one was the worst. This asshole was on the phone for the first like fucking 15-20 minutes of the movie. I think I said that in the review.
I can't believe you didn't kick his ass.
I told him to shut the fuck up. I did. I was like, I'm gonna get into a karate. Yes, I'm gonna get into a fucking Karate Kid fight with this guy. And he just ignored me completely. I'm like, actually, what I said specifically was, get off your fucking phone, dude. Because first I come in and he was in the fucking hallway on his phone. Fine. You want to be in the hallway on your phone? That's fine. Then as the movie was starting, the motherfucker comes in and he sits down and he's like just adjacent from me. And there's literally only 3 of us in the theater. 3 single, lonely, fucking sad dudes. Like, watching this fucking movie. And this guy is on the fucking phone still. And he's just like, yeah, love you too. Yeah. It's just going on and on for like fucking 10 minutes into the movie. And finally, after giving him the, the and all that kind of shit for about 5 minutes, I finally just said, get off your fucking phone, dude. And he just totally fucking ignored me for like another 5 minutes finally got off the phone about 10, 15 minutes into the movie, right after he got to New York. I was like, are you fucking shitting me? So the first few minutes of the movie was that for me. It was just like, ugh. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to more ads. I didn't have any popcorn to throw at him, or I would have. Tornadoes.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want to leave the theater to get a
Yeah.
manager, because then you miss more of the movie.
You know what I was going to do to be clever? I was going to call the manager from my phone.
And they'll fault you for responding to the guy, even though he is the asshole on the phone.
Yeah.
They'll have it all asked backwards.
They should have a text line set up so you can text from the theater. Please come
No
to Theater
shit.
5. And
That was what I was thinking about doing. I'm like, fuck it. I'll just call the fucking theater.
You know, Tom, yeah, I between what you said, what Martin Scorsese said about people interrupting movies, I must have like the greatest amount of like Nick privilege ever, because I very rarely get movies where I have these types of constant interruptions. I really the amount of times that they happen is in the low single digits. I must be very lucky. Not to jinx it,
Actually, normally my experiences aren't that bad. I think the two worst ones I've had have been this one and the Ninja Turtle one in the last few years, as far as like other people causing disruptions that I can think of. So, but Dead Man says, so tired of the Superman hate before the movie comes out. Well, there's one upside to this, Dead Man. And that is, I think a large portion of the people are going to be like, you know what? It was better than I expected it to be. I have that fucking feeling. I have a feeling that we'll have a few people say that about Fantastic Four as well, to be fair.
that it's better than they thought it would be.
Yes, I think but the difference is that Superman has been so scrutinized, so just like it's had the shit, like he looks in the beginning of that trailer is basically where the movie's at right now. Like everybody has just kicked the shit out of this trailer or this movie, before they've even seen that much of it, only a couple trailers. So at this point, the upside is most people I think are going to be like, you know what? It really wasn't as bad as I was thinking it was going to be. I think that's going to be the common thing. I could be wrong, but unless it's a complete fucking train wreck. But
I hope I'm hoping for at least an 8 out of 10 movie, because if it's an 8 out of 10 movie, to me, this has potential of becoming a fully fleshed out, fully realized universe. If it's a 7 out of 10, I don't see it being something where they're going to be like, oh man, this is the future now. Because this needs it to be at the minimum an 8. Anything less than that is, I don't see a future of this universe. And I can imagine they're gonna panic the same way when Batman featuring Superman rushed to the Justice League, panicked when they thought, oh, it's gonna be a huge success. Oh, whoa, wait, what are we gonna do? We're in the middle of filming Justice League. We're in the same boat right now, doing the same shit. 9 years later, we have everything riding on a film while we're filming the next film. And that didn't work out the first time. And we're doing it again. We're thinking, let's wait on Supergirl. Let's wait. No, we're just going to make it. We're just going to make it anyways. Like, to me, the only reason you could justify making that now with this much uncertainty is if you are sure this Superman movie is going to be a hit. And it's hard to read where James Gunn, Peter Safran, Zaslav, everyone is with this. It's really hard to read where they're at with it.
Well, and as far as what Sean's saying here is, you're not wrong when it comes to the appealing to a lot of the broader comic book nerdy fans like us in this community. You're not wrong, Sean. But one thing I realized yesterday when we were having this discussion is how big James Gunn is on social media, and that's why they're pushing him so much. So we may be reading this wrong in a lot of ways. And that's another thing that kind of does play out when you look at the trailer, thumbs up to thumbs down ratio, for instance, right? If this movie was really being viewed the way that a lot of people are acting in our community elsewhere, the trailer would have a lot more downvotes than it does. In fact, it's barely being ratioed as far as that goes.
Well, I just hope that James is, and I hope that he has the changes that he's made, like with the look. Remember that first trailer where we saw him flying and there was a lot of jokes about him having an extra chromosome, and his eyes just looking wonky. You know, that seems to have been changed in subsequent trailers, and then also him blinking when he got hit by
They fixed that, which is
people.
cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they
he
took
fixed
feedback
it.
from that. I'll give him credit for that.
Well, and he did come out and debunk a lot of the reshoot rumors and the rumors about DC demanding cuts and all that stuff, which I was trying to tell people from the start is he has final cut, so I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. And then this was sent to me on Twitter. This is from 2023 as well, where it says new movie will restore American Way to Hero's famous motto after DC Comics controversial dropped it. 2021. James Gunn says new movie will highlight Kansas heritage. So that's what I'm saying. I still think it'll be a part of the movie, but I wonder if for the marketing purposes, like with Captain America, that they'll use the human way in most of that kind of stuff. But we'll have to see. I could, they may replace it with the human way in the movie, which I think is dumb. But
it's not going to be a deal breaker for me, but I
No.
if somebody does feel that way, I respect if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel, and I respect that.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's one of those things where I would never be a deal breaker for the movie, but it would be part of my critique. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It would definitely be a critique. Now, if the movie somehow ends up being bad, let's just say it's going to be the match that lights the fire.
But I hope that this stuff doesn't ruin my experience or ruin our experience, because I know if I'm sitting in that theater and they say truth, justice, and the human way, I'm going to be thinking of you guys instantly and about how we're all going to be bitching about it on MEAD that night. So
it will probably take me out, unfortunately.
It's like we're pre.
Well, that's why it's good to have your expectations tempered. That's why I always say have your expectations tempered. Keep yourself in an even balance, and if the movie ends up being good, it'll be one of those things where you could call it a small critique, but luckily the rest of the movie, or for the most part, works. You could say, kind of like put this way: The Collar is awful. Is it a deal breaker? Will I forgive it if the movie ends up being good? Yeah, but if it ends up being bad, I'm going to level every little small thing I look past and make it a big thing because the movie sinks. It's one of those things where I'll forgive, if it can deliver. But it's when things end up being bad that we start taking smaller things that we would normally look past and start amplifying them because, they made a bad movie and now we're going to drag it down to hell.
Well, and Kalekioki makes a good point here. It says it doesn't make sense. Yeah, the humane way would make more sense because, as Pico points out, the human way covers a lot of ground, a lot of not very nice ground. Exactly. The American way does have specific ideals, and that's what I agree with too. That's kind of the whole point of the saying.
Well, in the human way, it completely leaves crypto out of the equation.
Oh, and he addressed that evidently. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. Because he was talking about because crypto was also, that was another thing that was before this that everybody was talking about, is because it said something about crypto being a metahuman and the definition of what a metahuman is.
Well, that's a DC term for describing a lot of powered beings. So I'm not surprised that that's being used. That I do buy that.
Yeah. So he's been getting bombarded with people saying that shit. Now, R2, I know you had to leave. Did you have to take out right now? Otherwise, we got
Yeah, I'm going to have to take off. But appreciate being around. Follow me on X, everybody. And hey, it was good being on stream with you for the first time, Six. So everybody take care.
Good to see you again,
Not
brother.
the first time, but good to see you again.
Take care. I guess you guys have been on before. ActionCom says, Six, have you seen The Return of Dracula? It's the first movie to tackle the idea of Dracula in modern times. Tom, it's a tepid remake of Suspicion. I am not real aware with it. He sent me the trailer to send you, by the way.
I have not seen it, but I did look it up when I saw your super chat.
So you already seen it.
Man, I don't like movies that were made before I was born, but love Nosferatu, the Midnight's Edge experience. And I'm gonna look for it. ActionCom, thank you.
All right. And then we got Soul Nightmare, who says, I think it was changed for legal reasons. It used to say the American Way. I even remember sending a super chat with it once. Both American Way and Better Tomorrow are copyrighted. DC lost American Way.
What? Really?
If that's the case, why did they just outright say that in 2021? Because when it was changed in the comics in 2021, the company DC made it very apparent. Let's just say they were very apparent that it was all about ideological reasons. They said nothing to do with legal stuff. Would I feel like there would be a lot less people who probably would have been as outraged and maybe would just express maybe genuine disappointment? Yeah. But if that's the case, then DC was not being truthful about why it was changed, because they were going all about how the American way doesn't fit with the current times. Just look into when Gabe El-Taib left DC Comics about it. I mean, there was tons of stuff about it when it came out. So once again, unless they were lying to us and they wanted outrage, and well, it worked because it made a lot of people mad.
Well,
But that's just what I remember in 2021.
If the American way is so offensive, why are people like breaking the law to get into our country?
Yeah,
and I mean that was,
and let's not forget, Americana movies also still do very well. Sorry to interrupt, but this is very important. But a lot of Americana type of movies do very well out of the country. Independence Day was like the biggest movie of the year in '96 worldwide. And that was a pretty damn Americana movie. And that isn't the only movie. Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick had both done good worldwide as well. And they didn't change them to not be Americana. They were still very Americana. So Americana does translate to across the world. It really does. So it's not something that, people in the UK or people in Africa or people in, I don't know, Jamaica can't embrace. They can all get a good sense of feeling and senses of hope when watching those types of movies.
Well said.
Well, we'll see. SFX 314 Sabretooth Raptor sends in 5, says, I've been going to military theaters with my mother when we go to see movies. Dad was in the military. Only adds our military family events and help. Oh, I didn't know they had separate military theaters.
Oh, yeah, they do. I learned this from my dad because my dad was in the military when the first Top Gun came out, and he said how huge it was, like at the time, being in the Army and having that movie come out. It was like it was like the talk of the town for a long time. And he said he mentioned how there's their own like military thing. I'm like, oh, they make that? And he's like, yeah. So that was interesting to learn.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I
Thanks
like
for
that.
sharing.
Yeah.
And with that, I believe we are caught up, and we're going to get on out of here. Six, got anything going on?
I gotta go to bed. I've been up
you sound a
way
little
too
tired.
long.
Hopefully you get some
Tough
rest.
day. Yeah.
Nick, what you got coming up?
Oh, let's see. I'll be probably on TNT in an hour. Clavy's Comic Shop tomorrow night. And Toxic Tuesday, we'll be talking Kingpin. Anything else, I'll figure that out as I go along. It's been a good discussion, and I hope to see you all either later tonight, tomorrow, or Tuesday night. Thanks for having me, Tom. It's been good hanging out with you, CC6, and Professor R2. Thanks for having me.
All right. CC, what you got going on?
I'm going to get something to eat, and I'm going to go to bed.
All right.
Attaboy. See you there.
All right. With
when are you going to start karaoke?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Okay.
You've been saying that for a while.
It's been a very, very large reconstruction effort on the channel.
I just don't want you to ever think that I don't miss it.
It's been just an overwhelming amount of work reconstructing the channel, so I just haven't done the rest of it yet. But once that settles, and I'm a couple weeks away from having that settled, and then all my trips, my airplane trips as well. But yeah, we'll get back to it.
It's worth the wait.
Yeah.
Tom, what you got coming up?
Morning show tomorrow. I don't know if I'll show up later on tonight on the Thursday night throwdown or not. Maybe not. Depends on what they decide to talk about. I don't know. We'll see. With that, take care of yourselves and each other. And
Good night, Divina.
On the next one.
Cute kitty.